Hi, this is the module Trend Templates within DataMiner Configurator Level 1. And in this module, we will create a new trend template and add it on our element or apply it to our elements that we previously created. So in the Configurator Level 1, we started with adding some connectors on our system, deploying them from the catalog. Then we created an element. Now we will make sure that our element has the correct trending with defining that in a template and assign it on top of our elements. Next to trending, you also have alarming. There are also alarm templates defining the alarming. That one we will create in the next module and then also apply it onto our element. So on top of our element, we will have trend templates and alarm templates. Since alarm templates are a little bit more complicated in terms of features and possibilities, we will first create a trend template here in this module, which is the simplest example of a template, and see how that mechanism works and how to apply that on there. So we will first take a look at what kind of template we are talking about here, the trending, the trend data, what can we define in there. Then we will create a trend template and also assign it so that we know the concept of templates very well before then moving onwards to the next module with doing it with the alarms. Okay, so first a little recap on that trend data. So when we have the parameters coming into our DataMiner system, we want to have that history perspective. So we want to see the performance data over time. And we were having two options, as we already mentioned in the fundamentals. We have real time and average. So as an administrator, you will need to define which parameters you want to activate for trending. And if you activate a parameter for trending, you need to choose between one or the other or both. So in this case, both are being activated. So just be aware that when you activate real time, it might potentially be quite a lot of data. Typically the average, that's a no-brainer. You want to have it for a longer period of time. So you want to have average for the long run. So typically this one, if you do want to have trending, typically you activate average. It is a little bit more a question whether you will activate real-time, yes or no. Real-time will have a certain impact on the capacity, of course, because real-time means that every single change will also be stored in the database. So this is real time. Every single change that we detect from the data source we're pulling will go into the database as well, and we will store that. It's for a limited period of time, so only 24, 48 hours, something like that, will be stored with the real time. So if you don't really need that real time to make like at the end of the month a nice report for the last month. Their real time is not useful. Real time is more to really open up a trend graph and really be able to zoom in on a part like yesterday afternoon. What exactly happened there in the last 24 hours? I still want to be able to investigate, or 48 hours, what exactly happened there, every single detail. If you don't need that granularity, I would say do not activate that real time. You are perfectly fine with average. You see the average graph here with also a average and min-max. So the min-max is being stored as well. Remember, real time, every single change for the last 48 hours or so. And if we go for average trending, then we look at 5-minute time slots. So we still know within the 5 minutes, the average and the minimum and the maximum within a time slot. And those 5-minute slots are being kept for a month or 3 months. And after that, it will go into 1-hour time slots. 1-hour time slots are being saved then for a year or 2 years. And then we have even a third possibility where we have the possibility to, for instance, say for 1 day, store it for like 5 years or 10 years or so. The length of the window, the 5-minute, the 1 hour, the 1 day, and how long they are being stored is configurable. And there are some default values depending whether you use STAS or a self-hosted database. You can look that up in docs to have more details on that. Time to live. All right, so there are going to be two options for each and every parameter that we need to select. So let's take a closer look on how to create that trend template for my element I previously added in there. That was my Microsoft element. Okay, so we are going again in that protocols and template app where we were for our connectors. So we were managing our connectors in there as well. So again, we are going to the apps section or pane here, and in there you will find the protocols and templates, and there we have that familiar UI already, where we already discussed all the protocols on the first column and all the versions on the second column with potentially some information templates and Visio files. Now we will concentrate on the third column and the fourth column to take a look at the alarm, but now in the first module here, the trend templates at the bottom. So there we will be able to create a new trend template. So you go to apps, go to protocols and templates, you select your protocol, you select the version, which should typically be production version. Remember, we always work with production version, but templates are created for a specific version, but because there could be different parameters in different versions. But typically we go for the production version, and then we can create one or more trend templates. So you will see that there will always be an item in there, no trending, which is by default. I don't know if you remember, but I just created my element there, the Microsoft platform in the previous video, and there I didn't have any alarming and any trending. So this one will be on no trending, nothing is activated. I want to change that, so I will right click somewhere here and create a new trend template, and I can specify the name for my trend template for the specific version that and protocol that will be already populated. I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I right click and go for new. What will happen? It will open up a new template. What do I see in that new template? Well, you just see all the parameters in there with the checkboxes, real time and average. More or less, yes. So you will see the different pages as I see them on the data display, the audio page, the demodulator setup page. So you do have the familiar grouped sections there, like you see them on the data display, and you see all the parameters. Well, I say all the parameters, but that's not technically correct, because when a developer is creating a connector, he or she is able to define whether or not this parameter is useful for trending. So for instance, they could say like, yeah, we have let's say a date and a time coming back from the device. Yeah, that's not really meaningful to do a trending on a date, for instance, coming back from the device. So I want to declutter a little bit the list here and remove those kind of parameters that are really not made for trending. So they are able to make this list a little bit more to the point, you could say. So if you see way too many parameters in there, let us know. If you are missing a parameter, let us know as well, or contact the developer of that specific connector. Okay, so plain and simple, you can just go for your parameter that you find interesting for a history perspective to have it on there. So you can just activate real time or average or both. I would say average is a no-brainer if it's interesting to see that performance data. Real-time, think about that one if it's really required, yes or no. If it really brings something to the table, yes or no. So you select the checkboxes, you click OK. Once you click OK, it will immediately ask you, do you really want to assign it? And you can immediately assign it to your elements. And be aware that whenever you are opening an existing trend templates, you will only see the ones that actually have something selected that's configured with that. I'll show that in an example right now. So let's go to my DataMiner system. I previously created my first element on here, my BERT training Microsoft polling local hosts. And I think I still need to do a quick restart here for my total processor load. So I do have my Microsoft element that is added in the previous module, but now I want to activate some trending. So let's just close this and start from scratch. So I can go to apps and I can go to the protocols and templates app. And there I will be able to select the driver that is being used here. That is the Microsoft Platform production version. Always use production version. And as you can see, we have no alarming or trend templates yet. That's not existing yet. So what I will do is I will create a brand new trend template by right-clicking somewhere here on the trend templates that are available and go for new. And it gives me a pop-up to specify a name, and I can give it a name or go for the default name, template 1, or just say something like standard, for instance, is my default or something like that. You can have like lots of trending or lower trending, etc. Okay, standards, and it will give me immediately the list of all the available parameters, or some of the parameters that are not useful won't be in here, but typically lots of parameters are going to be available here. Just to start very simple with the basics, I'm going to go for the total processor load. Remember that I changed the name and added a test there. I did some editing of my driver that I should not have done because I should have used an overlay with an information template, but anyhow. So let's just activate that total processor load. So as I said, average, that's like a no-brainer. Let's activate average. Well, real time. Well, actually, maybe for total processor load, it's maybe interesting to see every single change in a couple of days time of window. So let me activate, just as an example, also the real time. So only total processor load for now. Let's just take it as a first step here and just OK, click on OK, and it will immediately save my trend templates in the background there. The standard is there, and it immediately asks me, oh, do you maybe want to assign it already? Well, yeah, why not? Yes, let's do that. And I have my Microsoft element that I can select, and I can just add it to the ones that are using the standard, close it, and now I can go back to my surveyor and open up my, in a new card, maybe my Microsoft elements. So now I can see that there is a trend graph or a trend icon next to it. So if I click on there, it will load me the trending. Be aware, I don't see anything yet. I'm even lucky that it already shows me something, because it could have said no data as well, because there's almost no data. But if I would zoom in very much on the current value here, you would see that indeed a couple of values are already getting in there. Let me zoom out to last 24 hours. So when you activate the trending, it only is being activated at the point now, and from now onwards it goes into the database. I still need to wait like 24 hours before I will see the last 24 hours being populated, because it does, the previous values are just forgotten. They were not stored at that time because there was no trending template defined yet. So keep that in mind. Now I'll have to wait a little bit until I will get some more decent trending in there. Okay, let me just open that up again, and let's take another look at the standard templates that I just created. So I want to do a little bit more modifications to it. So if I right click again on my trend template standards, and now I can open it, open a new card, things like that, duplicate it as well, or create another one, a new one. So you can of course create multiple trend templates and define them on multiple of your elements. So some elements could have a lot of trending, other elements could have less trending. So maybe I have some servers that need a lot of details being trended, and maybe I have other servers that don't need that much of the trending. So I can define two trend templates, one with a lot of trending, one with less trending for two sections or data centers or whatever. Now, I want to open it again because I want to point out if you open up an existing template, it will only show the total processor load in there. Where are all my other parameters? Well, by default, it shows you a summary of everything that has been activated for trending. Do you want to add another one? Well, on the upper right-hand side there, you can see that it now only shows trended parameters. You click on there and you say the protocol parameters, all of them needs to be shown. And then I can go in and, for instance, say like, well, maybe also total threads is useful, not real time, but average is fine. Let me apply that. And let's go back. We have our Microsoft platform still open, and then immediately indeed it shows the threads there as well. So I can immediately add a new one. A small trick, remember that we were able to define the corrective actions and the alarm description when double clicking and drilling down into a parameter. To change that information template. Well, the same applies for alarm and trend templates. So let's say that I have the total handles here. I already activated total processor load trending and total threads, but I forgot total handles. So I want to activate total handles, so I can just without, let's forget about the alarm trend templates there on the right-hand side. I can even close that for now. I'm working with the equipment and I want to change something. Well, I just double-click, I drill down into the total handles. There's no trending here, it's not enabled. So I can go for templates and I can see indeed it's not enabled, and I can activate the average trending, and then I can have two options here at the bottom. In this section, I can say for this element only, or update the trend template for everybody that is using this trend template. So I can just say update the trend template for everybody using this trend template, and now I will see that my total handles is activated. So remember, if you want to have an additional parameter, you don't necessarily need to open up that trend template. You can also drill down into the parameter and activate the checkbox. Another quick shortcut, if I'm on a daily basis working with the element, so I can double click to activate another parameter for trending, but I can also right click on the element and go for protocols and templates. I mentioned this shortcut menu here before, and I can immediately view the currently associated trend template standard. So I can just immediately load the standard trend template with one click of a button. I can see the parameters that are in there, and maybe I can say like, okay, some additional parameters that I want to add in there. Let me just quickly pick one like available physical memory. Available physical memory. Let's activate the average as well. That's sufficient with average. Let's apply it, and now the upper right hand side will also have trending. So remember that shortcut that is available, right click and shortcut. Let me do a quick edit of this element because this one is actually not using the production version. That's not so great. So let me move to the production version and go for the same templates, because then I will be able to show you that I have now two elements using the same templates. So let me quickly show you in the templates app. If I go for my Microsoft elements, I will see that my standard template, you can see it a little bit in light gray there on the right hand side. Two elements are using standard and no trending is not being used. If I select my standard trend template, you will see the elements that are using it. So now I have two elements using it, and both of my elements will indeed have the same trending activated. If I open both of them in a new card, let's maybe open this one there. You will see that the same trending of the first three parameters and then this fourth parameter on the right hand side is being activated. And that's now, if I, for instance, say total physical memory, I drill down into that one and I go to templates and I want to activate the template, the trending on this one as well. Therefore, this element only and update the trend template is an important choice because now two of them are using this template. So you can see other elements using this same standard trend template is my Microsoft element. So not only my DataMiner agent, but also the BERT training Microsoft, there are two elements using the same template. So now I have the important choice. If I make a change to the trend template, do I update the trend template and both of them have the new parameter? Or if I say update this element only, then I will need to create a duplicate of that trend template and only assign a duplicate or a copy of it on this element only. Typically, you can just try to keep it a little bit more standardized and try to use the same template on multiple elements, and they can both benefit from this new total physical memory, the second parameter that I now also activated. So that now they are on both of my elements active, the total physical memory. All right. So what we did now is we created a new template, specified the name, and we just added a checkbox on our total processor load, and we did it on a couple of other parameters as well in various ways. A couple of different ways. We basically did the same checkbox, adding each time an additional parameter to the trending templates. Okay. There is one special and important case, and that's for tables. And I want to take a closer look at that one, because for tables, we do have the possibility to use filtering. And we do have a good example here on our task manager. Let's play around with that, because that's a little bit of a special case. So I'll do it on my Microsoft element that I created, my BERT training Microsoft. I activated a couple of single parameters. Okay, so far so good. The first one from the template, then one by double clicking, and then some others. But I do have this task manager table here. This task manager table has a lot of parameters in there. Yeah. Of course, a lot of cells, a lot of things I can activate for trending. What do I want to activate? Let's just keep it simple and go for the CPU. In the CPU, there are many columns, memory, and you can activate them on all of it. Let's just go for CPU. I want to activate the CPU load of not the total processor. Well, I already have the total processor, but of the individual processes. So if some process goes haywire, I can actually investigate how it evolved over time for those single individual processes. So how do I do that? Well, let's open up the trend template. So I go again to the protocols and templates, Microsoft production version, the standard trend template. Let's open that up. By default, it only shows the parameters that are activated for trending. I want to show a new one. So let's show all the protocol parameters. I'm not on the performance page. Let's collapse that one. I'm on the task manager page. And in the task manager page, you will see that you have a whole series of task manager parameters in there, which are basically the columns. Let's just check it out here. So we have the task manager, CPU handles, IO, CPU handles will be in there as well, IO, etc. That's all in there. So all of these columns that you see here are available there. So what happens? Let me just make this a little bit bigger like that. So what happens? Now I have a nice view on this. So I have my task manager table on the right hand side, and I can make some live changes on the left hand side. So what happens with the, if I activate the task manager CPU, just average. I'm fine with just average. I still have the min-max in there as well, so average is typically fine. Let's activate that. Let's apply this and let's see what happens. What happened? You can see here that there is a trend icon being added, as I expected, in the CPU. Let me go back down. In that CPU column, you can see that this is a trend icon has been activated, and it has been activated for each and every process in there. There are lots of processes in there. There's a long list of that. So we do have activated everything because, and there you can see it, we have a filter which is by default star. So by default, you basically have no filter and you say everything star will be activated for trending. Okay, but in this case, it's actually kind of like overkill, you could say, because I'm not honestly interested in all of these processes like Notepad and whatever will be on there. I have no clue of all those processes that are not of interest, which are basically overhead, but I am interested, let's scroll a little bit more upwards here, in all the processes that start with SL. So we have here all processes from Skyline that start with SL. SL DataMiner, SL Element, SL Protocol, SL Automation, a whole series of SL processes. Well, what I can do is I can just change this star. And you can see the tooltip says it, star and question mark is applicable. Let's just say that I only am interested in SL star. What happens with the trend icons, you will see them updating. There they are gone for all the others and only the SLs are remaining. So that's how you can specify a more strict filter and not just have every row being trended, but some distinct filtered rows. Okay. I have now all the SL processes. That's all fine. But maybe I also see that there are some WMI processes here that I say, oh, yeah, actually, I want to keep an eye on those as well. Or maybe some databases that are running on there. So there are different things. So how can I now also define some WMI processes on there? Well, you can actually, if you move your mouse over this row, you will see you can actually duplicate this line. So if I duplicate this line, I now have twice the CPU there, and I can say, well, WMI star, also do an average on that one, apply. And there we have also the WMI processes are now being monitored. Okay, and there is even a possibility, because this is going from top to bottom, to define some exceptions, because let me go back, I'm taking it a step further. So I defined first everything, then I said only SLs, now I said SLs and WMI. Now I say I'm, for instance, not interested in this log thingy here. That this one should not be trended. How can I do that? Well, I can basically duplicate the line again by clicking once more on the plus sign, and I can say that the SL log or as a log or as a log star, if there are multiple instances of it, should not be activated. So that the average one is not enabled for as a log. If I apply that, will that work? Well, I can already tell you, no, it won't work, but because it goes from top to bottom. So if it finds a match here, it will use those. So as a log will match here and it will use that first line and it will never get to the second line. So you need to make sure that your more restrictive filter is on top, because then you will find a match. That's why the arrow up and down are here. So if we move that one up, it will first from the top find, oh, as a log, no average trending. And all the other processes like SLNet, for instance, does it match as a log? No. Need to find a little bit further. Oh, here it matches SLNet. Yeah, that matches. So it will have trending activated. Let's apply that one, and you can see that indeed the SL log has been taken away out of that second filter, you could say. So that's how you can combine multiple filters together into a series here. And there I also explained that the order is of importance if it matches more than one filter. The WMI doesn't really matter because it's a completely different filter, but if the filter matches multiple times, then you need to make sure that the most important one that you want to have active is on top. Okay, it's an important concept because it will come back on alarming as well. And these days we have lots of information that is being retrieved that is in tables with lots of rows and lots of columns on there. So it is important to master this possibility to quickly go to a certain cell, to choose a column, choose a filter to get to that cell, to have the correct, not only trending, but alarming. In the next module will have the same principle. Okay. So that's how it works with the filtering. That's what has been explained here. So we can do a star or we can do an SL star, and we do have the possibility to duplicate rows, to have multiple items in there, and then the order is important, top to bottom. Okay, dynamic tables, an important one to remember. Now, small side note, there is also a possibility to add some more columns. Let me show that to you for the augmented operations. Let me close this one for a second. So we have our trend template still open. There is with the settings or the cogwheel icon there, the possibility. Yeah, offload is more for offload. You can look in docs for that offloading feature. The augmented operations, if we enable that, it enables some additional columns there. By default, system default should be fine, but you can tweak it that certain parameters would have an on or off for anomalies, for proactive alarming and trend icons. If you wonder where the system default is, well, therefore you need to go to apps, System Center, underneath System Settings, you will find some analytics config. There you will find the trend icon, for instance, or the anomaly detection, if that's by default activated for all the parameters, yes or no. With the trend template, you're able to overrule, you could say, one parameter to behave differently. As a side note, if that would be necessary. Okay, so I already mentioned if we drill down into one specific parameter, we can immediately go to that templates section and go for the trend template and define, oh, I forgot about signal strength to activate real-time and average trending. Double click, templates trend, yes, enable the checkboxes. And then you save it. Typically you save it for all of your satellite receivers in this case, or servers, or whatever kind of connector you have that are using this template, or you could make a duplicate of your template for this specific element. Just be careful. It's convenient to have templates and to use multiple templates for multiple groups of elements, but make sure that you're not creating too many templates as well, because you need to maintain those templates over time as well. So try to keep it. But we'll see some more tips also for management of templates with the alarm grouping as well. Okay, so we did already assign it, but just for the record, if you want to assign your trend template, you select your trend template, you click on the assign, or you right click on one of the existing elements there and you go for assign, and you have that assign pop up again, where you see all the elements that are potentially applicable for this trend template, and you can move them left or right. Of course, you can also go to the element itself, just to for the record. If I go to my surveyor, I can still, of course, right click on my element, go for edit, and go back to that editing wizard, and there I will be able to, of course, change my trend templates that I have, or in the next module, the alarm template. So here I can still change it as well, of course. Back to no trending, or immediately the add a new trend template will pop it up. And here is a small shortcut. If you are editing your elements and you do see, oh, standard, oh, what is that again? That's standard. Well, there is a small icon there to immediately pop up that trend template, and I can see the settings of this template. Okay. So that's a small shortcut. So once you have your trend template, don't forget to assign it to your element, or when you create elements, you can also immediately assign a trend template that you previously created. All right, so in this module, we took a closer look at how to define a first template, the trend template, the easier one of the two. The next one will be the alarm template. So the trend template is that configuration that I define in a trend template which parameters need to be activated for trending, yes or no. That's what I define in a trend template. I can create one or more trend templates, and then I can assign those trend templates to my elements as I wish. Okay, so I hope it was of interest, this module, and definitely go for the next one with the alarm templates. See you in the next one.